we're so scared in this culture to just like, dude, just don't eat. Like if you want to lose some weight, just don't eat for a night or two. Like just don't eat anything. Your problem is not that you're lazy. Okay, maybe you are a little bit lazy, and we're gonna fix that in this video. But also, you might be someone who wants to stay lean and you just don't want to go to a gym, aka me. So in this video today, I'm gonna give you my exact system for how I stay in the range of 8 to 10% body fat year round without ever stepping foot into a gym. So I'm making this video for two reasons. Number one, I strive to make the act of exercising intensely an easier thing to do. See, because the act of actually losing weight requires only a few very simple things, but the place where people typically struggle is just doing those things consistently and turning them into actual habits that they can incorporate easily into their lifestyle. In less words, it's not that you don't really know what to do, it's that you can't do the same things consistently. So I feel like here at Jump Rope Dudes, I am always in a situation where I'm trying to give you guys information to lower the barrier to being able to lose weight and stay that way. And number two, I wanted to make this video because this is just how I live my life. This is something that I already kind of built a lot of muscle mass when I was younger. I'm not someone who struggles with building muscle, but I also don't struggle with building fat. My lifelong journey and issue has always been weight loss. Like I gain weight really quickly, but it's hard, or it's been very hard for me in the past to stay lean. So everything we talk about here at Jump Rope Dudes, you have to take it with a grain of salt and understand that I'm someone who already has and has had a good amount of muscle mass. So mostly what I'm focused on here is weight loss, performance, increasing athletic ability, stamina, improving cardiovascular health, things like that. Hey, what's going on, guys? Just a reminder, if you need a jump rope, the best one you're gonna find on the internet is linked up right here. It's the one that we use in every single workout, and it's the best for weight loss. Also a reminder, we recently released a jump rope and dumbbell workout program. 3 months, I'm mic'd up for the whole thing, taking you through it. I was super excited to build this one because it focuses not just on fat loss, but also building muscle, and kind of adds a different dimension that we haven't had in some of our workout programs before. So that link is up on the screen here. It's also linked below. Check it out. Let me know what you think. See, the problem is most people who are trying to lose weight think that it needs to be this big event. And that's usually what stops them because it just seems too daunting. Because remember, you don't have to become this like different person to be in shape. You don't have to become someone who's like, oh, I love the gym, and posting positive quotes all over your Instagram and sharing your recipes like I do. You can just be someone who looks really good and feels really good, all by not even going to the gym. So in today's video, there's gonna be a few tangible things of like, yes, this is actually what I do, but more so than just the things that I'm recommending to you, it's the way that I think about weight loss and the way that I think about all of these things together that makes up my system. So please pay very close attention, because this all is like exactly how Dan Whitmer wraps up his whole like ability to stay super lean all year. So let's get into it. So if you haven't yet, before you continue with this video, go check out the video I just linked up here. It's the 10 most important things that matter for weight loss. Essentially in that video, I give you the list of priorities for what you actually have to be doing. I'm going to repeat myself a little bit, but there's also a lot of other things that I have to say that are not in that video. So let's dive right into it. Number one, there's nothing wrong with doing the same thing. In fact, I do the same thing all the time. And what I mean by that is I pretty much do 4,000 skips 4 to 6 times per week. I do them in sets of 100 to 200. I track that with the cross rope amp, like 100 to 200 skips at a time, up to 4,000. Usually takes me about 40 minutes, and I get really intense at the end of each set. So if I'm doing 200 skips, the last 50 skips, I'm usually sprinting in place and trying to exhaust myself by the end of the set. Point being, you need a very intense way to burn calories and also push your heart rate to those upper levels, and that's where the good things happen. That's where you burn a lot more calories and you're able to improve your metabolism and burn more calories at rest. Push-ups. I do 100, maybe 150 depending on the day. I usually do this 3 times per week, but some weeks I do this 4 times. Some weeks I don't do it any times, depending on what else I'm doing that week. And that's the point to my whole system. Next, I usually do 50 pull-ups. I do just 10 sets of 5, and I do them nice and slow, focusing on my form. 2 to 3 times per week. Sometimes I might do it 3, sometimes I might do it 1 or 0. Because I'm surfing a lot and I'm using, I'm always paddling. If I, have a week where I'm surfing a ton, I might just do push-ups or I might just do pull-ups, and because I don't want to injure myself by overworking myself. So again, what I do is just I fluctuate between those two depending on what I think I need to do, which I'll get into, like how I make these decisions of why I am doing this or that, but I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of how I do this. A new thing that I've been doing is dead hang. So that is just literally going to a pull-up bar or something to hang on and hanging like this. I do 5 sets of 30 seconds, and I've slowly been moving up to doing sets of 45 seconds and a minute. One thing I've noticed about the dead hangs, by the way, not only has it improved my grip strength and my strength in general, like my pull-ups are increasing a lot, but the coolest thing is it's reducing injuries. Sometimes when I would be doing all these bodyweight exercises and surfing, I would get like shoulder injuries or pec injuries, like feeling something in my tendons because I was just overusing my arms. But I've noticed just by doing these dead hangs, I really loosen up my arms and the joints are a lot stronger, so they can just take a lot more wear and tear, which I found pretty cool. And what I want to say about the push-ups and pull-ups thing, it is going to be way easier to stay lean if you are constantly working on building muscle or at least stimulating your muscles, because the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn and the easier it is to stay lean. If you have a different ratio of muscle to fat where you have more fat and less muscle, it's going to be harder to stay lean. Like just jumping rope by itself, even with heavy ropes, is not going to be enough. I would highly recommend doing push-ups and pull-ups like I mentioned. Next, walking. I just go on walks. Like I try to get 10,000 steps in, usually 4 to 5 times a week. Again, sometimes I do that for 7 days in a week. Sometimes I only get 2 to 3 days in. You want to focus on burning calories, not just through exercise. You want to focus on burning calories throughout the rest of your day. So walking is such an easy one. It's a no-brainer. It can also be a good way to kind of decompress or meditate. Sometimes I just go for walks when I need to think about something at Jump Rope Dudes or in my life. That always helps. And it, like I said, it's an easy way to do it where you don't really have to think about it, but ultimately walking can keep you super lean and shredded. Now, I'm not going to get into diet on this video because I also made another video called My Super Simple Diet for Staying 8 to 10% Body Fat. Just watch the video. I give you literally my exact food list and tell you everything that you need to know or that you should take into consideration. But this one, I just wanted to focus more on the physical activity aspect and then how I kind of check myself in the mirror and on the scale to make the decisions of how much should I be exercising. Okay, even though I'm not going to focus on the nuts and bolts of being like on a diet, this is a huge one. Stop eating so much damn food. We just live in a world now where people just like, they can't go through their day without having 3 meals or even without having 2 meals. Like most people cannot fathom just like not eating food for a day. They have to be like, it's dinner time, even though I don't need dinner, I'm gonna eat it anyway. One thing I've been doing lately when I've, let's say I just happen to gain a little bit of weight, maybe it's the holidays, maybe it's vacation, whatever it is, and I just notice myself starting to increase in weight a little bit, I just stop eating. Like maybe a few nights instead of eating dinner, I just eat some fruit. Maybe I just skip dinner entirely. Maybe I only eat like 1,000 calories that day. I'm not saying that you have to do this all the time because this is not healthy to just not eat and you will lose a lot of your muscle mass. But the point I'm trying to make is like, we're so scared in this culture to just like, dude, just don't eat. Like if you want to lose some weight, just don't eat for a night or two. Like just don't eat anything. And also the act of fasting and just drinking water has a bunch of other proven benefits at the cellular level. And I am just a big believer in the fact that you do not need to be fed all the time. We just live in a society where people are constantly have this excess of fat because they're constantly just like putting calories into their mouth. You don't need to do that. So just stop eating so damn much is what I'm trying to say. Again, check out the diet video for my specifics on like portions and what you should be eating. I'm just saying in general, if you think that you're starting to get a little bit overweight, just take a day off from eating and just drink water. Eat less during the week and more on weekends, or give yourself a chance for more calories at social events. In other words, we are social people. I think it's important to be social, but don't eat a ton of food during the week when you're working and you're not really doing that much socially, because when you're in a social setting or you're at a restaurant for a friend's birthday, you're going to want to eat more calories. Or like on the weekend, that's typically when people get together socially. So there's more of a chance that you are going to consume calories. So I always think to myself, when I'm by myself or when I'm, you know, just kind of having a boring little week or whatever, that's when I really tighten up my diet and my exercise, because I know Ashley's birthday comes around on the weekend and she's grilling burgers. I'm gonna want to have a couple, you know? So during the week, I try to be a little bit more strict and then save my calories for more social events. All right, this is a big one. Use the scale and the mirror to your benefit. So this item that I'm talking about right here, this is how I determine how much I need to be working out and dieting. I do not compare myself to other people in fitness. Like, I don't look at other people and think, oh, I need to look like that guy, or I need to, you know, I need to make sure that I have his physique. I'm very confident, not only in my physique, but in what I want out of my physique. Like, when I know, like, this is my ideal Dan Whitmer, this is how he looks, this is how he feels, and this is how he performs. So I say that because as long as you are constantly comparing yourself to other people's physiques, you're always gonna feel this sort of like, am I doing enough? It's gonna cause too much chaos. So the point to all this is that I base what I need to do off of just me looking in the mirror and being like, do I like my physique? Typically, what I've realized after, you know, dieting and exercising for 20 plus years is when I weigh 190 pounds, I'm typically like 7 to 8% body fat. Like, I'm very shredded and I feel super lean and fast, but it is kind of difficult for me to stay at 190 pounds just because I do tend to put weight on more. So I might get down to 190 and then fluctuate between, you know, 190, 197, somewhere in that range. But if I get up to 205 and the scale says 205 and I see in the mirror like, oh, I'm losing a little bit of definition, I'm still lean, but it's not the best Dan version where I feel my best, look my best, perform my best. When I start to get up into that 205 mark, that's when I decide, okay, I'm gonna do a more intense jump rope workout, maybe some push-ups, maybe some pull-ups, and then I'm gonna eat less this week than I did last week. I guess what I mean is I just base what work I need to do off of what I'm looking at in the mirror and what I see on the scale. I have gotten up to like 210 pounds for brief periods of time and been like, oh man, okay, I need to like very much change up my diet over the next couple weeks, prioritize my protein, and focus on just burning as many calories and building as much muscle as I can. You're the only one that you're trying to improve here. Don't play the comparison game. It's just exhausting. Next one, we just got a bunch of lifestyle stuff, which I talk about in all these other videos. Sleeping, drinking enough water, reducing stress. You're the only one that has to live in your body. So take care of it as you would like to. Next item, part of my system. If I decide that I want to change, I will. So that means like if I all of a sudden am like, I want to gain a bunch of muscle mass, then I'll shift up my routine. I will go to the gym. I will start lifting more weights and stuff like that. Although I don't really foresee that happening. But I guess my point is, I'm not out here doing all different kinds of workouts. Like, you see these people on Instagram posting these ridiculous body weight exercise circuits that aren't even that effective, and you could just do squats, push-ups, and pull-ups and still get the same results. So my next kind of item and caveat that I want to say here is, if you are a skinny person and you want to build a massive amount of muscle, then you can't do the things that I just said. Like, if you want to get big, and I'm talking about like you're really scrawny, you're someone who has a tough time putting on mass, you need to get your ass in the gym, because that is the easiest and most efficient way to get really, really strong and to grow your muscle mass. And that would be my first recommendation, because a lot of what I talk about here, like I talked about at the beginning of this video, biggest thing that I struggle with is just losing weight and staying lean. I've already built the muscle mass. So most of the information I'm going to give you guys is catered to people who are just trying to lose weight and get shredded. So go get muscly, and then we can start talking about, you know, getting shredded, staying shredded. But yeah, go to the gym if you really need to put on a lot of mass. I hope this video was helpful, guys. I feel like sometimes I repeat a lot of the content, or I'm just very wordy and this video is very long. But at the end of the day, I guess what I'm trying to show you with this video is that I do the same stuff, and I've been doing the same stuff forever. Like, I've just been doing 30 to 40 minute jump rope workouts a couple times a week, push-ups, pull-ups, the same amount. I'm not progressing because I don't care about telling people that I can do more pull-ups or push-ups. The place where I want to progress is overall health and performance. Running faster, jumping higher, surfing better, skateboarding better, swimming longer, holding my breath longer, living to be an old age, things like that. That's really how I measure and track my performance. But in terms of like staying lean and muscly, I do a lot of the same stuff. And so that's why I want to, again, just remind you guys that your body doesn't know if you are entering the gym or not. Your body just wants to activate its muscles, move around, let blood flow through your body, and get nutrients to help repair and recover it. So there is a very simple way that I just described to just be lean and gradually lose body fat and maintain that lean muscular structure that you have underneath there. In the spirit of not continuing to ramble on this video, I would really appreciate if you guys commented below and let me know what you struggle with, because again, the thing that I am very passionate about at Jump Rope Dudes is helping people make the process of losing weight and staying shredded easier. Because again, it is pretty easy, but the hard part is staying consistent. So that's kind of my goal with the channel, because consistency is really the only thing that gets you progress in anything in life that you do. So that's it, guys. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate all the support, everything. Like, I love this shit, man. I love making these videos. I love talking to you guys. I love hearing your stories. So comment below. Let me know what questions you guys have. I do want to remind you, if you're someone who's on your, starting out on your weight loss journey, I would highly recommend checking out the JRD app. With one subscription, you can get all the workout programs we've ever created, coaching, accountability, the JRD nutrition systems in there. It's a lot packed into one subscription. So that's at jumpropedudes.tv. And by the way, you can buy some of our 3-month workout programs as a one-off, but they're available on an app, which is great. You just hit play, I'm mic'd up, leading you through the whole 3 months. That's linked up right here in the video and also in the description below. But hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't give up on yourself and continue to do the thing.